What happened was a machine came down, clamped both of my hands down, and had removed 6 digits. I was in a bad situation. I didn't know what else to do, and I knew I needed some type of help, so I called a G law firm. They gave me confidence throughout the whole case that everything was going to be fine. They're not only lawyers, but they are family. Call the G law firm. I did.
We got to get everybody up and looking at us because we are just absolutely beautiful. Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry,
Lord,
I
what the
can't.
Lord?
I can't sing that song. Um, as we always do, first of all, we'd like to thank the G Law firm for sponsoring tonight's episode. As we always say, if you've been injured, it's no fault of your own. Contact the G Law firm. They are reputable, they are reliable, and they are relentless. Before you talk to the adjuster, before you talk to the attorney, you need to know some things. And AK and I were talking just, I think it was the other night. We are surprised at how people still don't understand how their insurance works. So we're going to ask if Donald G can come back on and enlighten people on, having a proper insurance, how when you have an accident, if you're in a car with somebody else, how that works, or if somebody else is in the car with you and how that works. AK, we just you hear this every day,
Mm-hmm.
and people just don't understand this, right?
You know, you gotta keep talking. I gotta get my mess straight over
All
here.
right,
I
I'm,
ain't together over here right
I'm
now.
gonna, I'm gonna continue filibustering. But seriously, again, if you've been injured, it's no fault of your own.
Okay, let's go.
Just understand your rights. First of all, the G Law firm is going to walk you through your case and let you know what you can expect, They're going to let you know some of the things that whether you have the proper insurance company. And again, these are some things that you need to know before you have an accident. So make sure you call for free consultation. And that number is 804-226-4111. 804-226-4111, or you can go to the glawfirm.com and sign up for a free consultation. They'd be glad to schedule and sit down and talk with you. Again, we've had so many people, they want to call the G Law Firm after they've been involved with another attorney, after they find out that their settlement wasn't what they thought it was going to be. You need to know all that before you sign that settlement agreement. All right. So you've been told. Again, let them know that you heard this on Let's Talk Tuesday.
Mm.
Yeah, buddy. So we got a couple of topics tonight, man. That's gonna be like, ooh,
Somebody just tell me we upside down.
we upside down.
I'm upside down over here.
Yes. How you bees upside down, man? I don't understand that. You know, but that's all right. You gonna get it. It's gonna be all right. In just a few
I
minutes.
am though.
Of course. I'm trying to see what's going on. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about a couple of different topics tonight. One that I started off on with we were talking about last week, and there was a caller posed a question, and we're going to talk about that question is why is it that men like to text all the time opposed to calling or FaceTiming or some of the things that are a little bit more personal. If you're dealing with a man, and again, that man is not talking to you, there is a reason why. So we're going to discuss that reason. Definitely. I want to know this. Can y'all see me on YouTube? Because apparently, we got a few things that are going on.
We
We're trying
got
to
all
get,
kinds of stuff going on tonight.
yeah, all kind of stuff. So we're going to keep going through. You can put your comments in, or you can give us a call at 804-767-0491. I'll put that on the screen so you can see it. Again, 804-767-0491. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to talk about, again, why men don't call FaceTime. I mean, someone, just after a certain time of the evening, certain times of the weekend, certain times you cannot, they tell you that they got certain things going on. They are with the boys. They got to work overtime. They got special projects going on. All of that.
Mm. Mm.
And we're going to find out if all of that is true. And I'm going to tell you right now, if your man is doing that,
You can't call you.
you're going to have to call me and tell me some of the symptoms, some of the things that you experience, and I can tell you if it's legit or if you being zoomed. A lot of y'all being zoomed out here on the real. We were talking about dating outside the race, and then again, the caller at the end of the show wanted to know why some men don't call or don't come by certain times, especially with the texting. You would think
They're
texting
texting more
would
than they're calling.
be right.
They're texting because they can't call. They're at home with their woman. They can't call.
You think they're at home with their woman?
Yeah, they're at home with their woman and they can't call yet.
They might be at home with the kids and helping the kids do their homework.
All night. Kids gotta go to bed at some point. You are not like all night.
Well, see, once you finish with the calculus and the physics and the geometry and helping those kids, your brain is tired. And so, after they go to bed, you sit there, you say, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna text my girl in just a minute. And you kind of lay your head back, and then it's the next day. And then you wake up the next day and you text.
Every day. Every day.
It could be. I mean, the kids
day.
have homework every day.
Weekends and all.
You could
Every
be
day. And on the weekends, you're just like super busy.
Well, there's things around the house you got to do. You got to go out, like today, man. You know how much stuff I did today that I didn't have time to, text my wife. I had to, go to the bank. I had to go to the hardware store. I had to work on fencing. I had to, program the show. I had a lot of things going. I had to stop by CVS and pick up a prescription, all that. So where in there do I have time to text?
Did you text your wife at all today?
No,
That's two.
I had to think about it. But she called me while I was working on the fence.
There you go. You answered that call, though, didn't
Well,
you? Yeah, you did.
you know, the key is, I mean, some men, again, are extremely busy. AK, know this.
Every day, you cannot get by with that every day.
Aren't you busy every day?
I am.
Okay.
But you know the saying, people make time for what they want to make time for.
So again, maybe it's just y'all new into the relationship. He doesn't want to wear out his welcome. Don't want to.
That's the time you talk. We need to know each other. What are you talking about?
That's not always.
You
Sometimes,
gotta come better than that. That's all you got?
I'm just warming up. I
Okay.
am just warming up. Sometimes, again, you want to save some conversation because if you talk every day, text every day, then sooner or later you're gonna run out of stuff to say.
Okay, but where do you start? You have to start somewhere. Where are you starting?
Start with what? We're talking
With a conversation, if you're meeting someone for the first time, where are you starting? On the phone, chit chatting. You're not gonna meet somebody and this jackass is texting you every single day. He can't call you because he's there with his woman. Period.
his woman or his wife.
Either or. The woman is his wife. Or the girlfriend, or whatever the case may be. So reason why he can't call you.
Well, do y'all want the truth?
And then and I know a friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
and she may call and talk about it tonight. And he in the shower. Or he'll take his little girl so and so. It's
Right.
always the same thing. I'm in the gym. You can't answer your phone while you in the gym?
No, because all that noise,
You ain't in the gym all day.
weights clanging, and
You're bringing your ass out the gym. What's the problem?
then
Keep
if
your
you're
phone
coming out
call
the gym,
on
then
your
you
way
need
out.
to, you running to get lunch or something, or you got to get home because
You
you
don't
got.
even believe this stuff that's coming out your mouth.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You
I'm telling
really,
you right
really
now.
You don't. Because you sound crazy. I'm just saying, that stuff's coming out your mouth sounding way crazy.
You
So
just
you
said the
meeting
man.
somebody, you don't even want to talk to this chick?
Well, you text him.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
text it. Exactly.
you text him because texting. You can send a little cute little emojis and
Nobody want none of that. We're trying to hear a voice. Who are we trying to meet? Who are we trying to date? Who are we trying to communicate with? And we're not going to communicate through a text message. It's not happening.
Well, I mean, that's the trend of today.
No, it's not.
So
No,
it's
it's
all you
not.
see is people. You be in a movie or you at dinner, and both of you all got your phones, probably texting each other across the table.
No. No, it's not.
And some people do that. Seriously, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
That's a bad. Seriously, if y'all texting each other and you sitting across the table, y'all got a problem. Y'all just need to, you need some a renovation in that
The
relationship.
problem to me is when you're out with your guy, your wife, your husband, or whatever the case may be, and you're sitting at the table not talking. I people watch sometimes when I'm out,
Right.
and it's like you can clearly see that they're married or they're dating or whatever, and they're not even saying a word.
Yeah. That's not
Why are
good.
you even out to dinner?
That's a good question.
You should have carried that shit back in the house, ordered and went home. So what was the point of being out?
I guess they'll be doing the same thing at home, so they may as well, break the monotony up or something. But you absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
At the table, they're not communicating. I think
Nothing.
there's a time that we got to put these phones down, and all of us are guilty of it sometimes, but you know, all the thing. My wife used to mess with me because sometimes, you know, running the radio station, answering emails and stuff, she'll fall asleep. She'll wake up and I'm like, still on. But we're getting better now where, if we're going out somewhere, put these phones down for a minute and talk to each other and,
Yeah.
say, hey, how was your day? What's going on with you? Those things are important.
Mhm.
I honestly believe, and as you said, especially when you're in a relationship.
Right, yeah.
So, how important is it for you to hear from your significant other in the initial stages? Say the first 9 months of being together or establishing
And
a relationship.
communicating and seeing
Right.
each other alike. If you're interested, if the chemistry is there, if it's not there, then you like, I can wait on this call. You really got to call me today if you don't want to. So it just all
Terrible.
depends.
Yeah,
If the
terrible.
chemistry is not there, then who cares? But that whole texting, and he's constantly texting all the time, and he
Right.
may really like you. And he's texting, your ass got something else going at home, and you don't know which route you're trying to go.
Well, I mean, and again, this is in the beginning stages of the relationship, so maybe he's trying to feel that female out before he, go in all 100%.
They communicate that, and not through a damn text message. They communicate that. You can tell the other person that that's what you're trying to do. What's the problem?
Some men
Some men want
find it difficult to be forthcoming like that because they feel that, if they are forthcoming, then there's a chance that that other person may, fall back from the relationship or not bring their all to the table and everything. So, the guy's trying to make sure that he's in a position where, if I start to feel her, I'm gonna put in more and more time. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna make, efforts to see. Now, on the flip side of that, if he's not doing that, he's not interested. He's got another woman or another man or something. Why you blinking your eyes like that? we keep it 1,000. You know that. We keep that 1,000. So any of y'all ladies out there, even some of you fellas, how about your significant person that you talking to? She don't, do anything but text you. Women do that too.
we're not doing that. Not when we're meeting somebody. We're not.
Come on.
If there's a woman out there that just met somebody and you prefer to text and not actually talk to that person, it's an idiot. And I'm saying that because you have to know and find out where is he, what is he doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we're trying to be stalkers, but it's like we need to figure out what we're getting into in the early stage. In the early stage, in case we got to roll out. If you got some mess going on, because that's a sign, that's a whole red flag.
And it could be a red flag if she won't text you. I mean, that's all. She won't FaceTime you or call you or something like that. Because y'all
And if they never FaceTime, that's a whole issue. We know your little raggedy ass got something going on at home. And we know your little raggedy ass can't pick the phone up because you can't even FaceTime at all, ever. That's a whole issue in itself.
Suppose he FaceTime you, in the bathroom. He's talking like, "Hey,
Oh my
is that a red flag?"
I'm like, what you whispering for? What's going on?
Oh, something wrong with my voice right now. I can't talk. I
Ain't
can't
nothing
talk
wrong.
very
You ain't
loud.
gonna be your wife don't walk in.
Some of y'all have been through this. I know you have. Y'all been calling and he speaking real low. Say, I'm just trying to, get my. I'm trying to get my vibe on with you. Hold on a minute. And then he said, hold on for me, trying to see if we hear footsteps. Somebody coming down the hall or something. I can't be telling all the fellas secrets and stuff. But if your man go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he taking his phone, red flag.
Exactly. So Dwayne Hill said texting is okay, but it's nothing like that old school verbiage interaction. And that's right. Texting is okay sometimes because we're at work.
Right.
And if you want to send a little text message at work, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your ass off from work. I'm off from work. And what's the problem when somebody calls? And if we call and you don't pick up, okay, hold on one time. What I'm not going to do is blow your phone up. Not me anyway. I ain't doing none of that.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna look like an idiot. I ain't looking like no idiot. Everybody gonna keep blowing your phone up. And if it happens one too many days, I'm out anyway. Cause you know me, I'm out anyway.
See, we gonna talk about that a little later on.
No, I ain't got no patience for that.
Y'all just got attitudes and
It's got attitude. Some women has a lot of patience. They can endure it and they can go through it with this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Once you get to a certain age and you get to a point where you like enough is enough, you ain't dealing with that. And I'm at the age where enough is enough and I'm not dealing with it.
right.
Bye.
Yeah, I agree with brother Billy. The way in there is that because it used to be a time before we got texting, we talk all night on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You sleep? No, I ain't sleeping.
Exactly.
You sleeping? No, I ain't sleeping.
Knowing you're both sleeping.
Yep.
Try not to get off the phone.
Exactly. Because I like listening to you breathe.
Nobody say no mess like that. Hell, oh my God.
know y'all be doing that.
No. Nobody said nobody listen to nobody breathe.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to stay on the phone, which I feel like I'm just close to you. All that jazz. But that's what we did though.
You guys are something else trying to play two, three.
Well, again, there may be a reason for that.
What's the reason?
Reason number one that the first
First lady.
Yeah.
So the first lady what?
The first lady may not be fulfilling all of the needs.
So the first lady.
Yeah, first lady.
So the second lady.
The second lady is fulfilling those needs. There's that communication piece. Perhaps first lady they're not communicating, or they have difficult communicating. Then you find somebody that you just talk all night to. Or you can't wait to hear from them and stuff like that. So that may be one. There may be some physical limitations where he's not attracted to his significant other.
Lady.
Right, we'll call the first lady, or the second lady, because maybe a third. He's not he's not attracted to her. It could be just the thrill. Some men need, they need thrill. They need a different companionship, or again, it can be just I just want to do this. I feel like
That's something you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing you ain't gonna leave the first lady.
Oh, hell no.
But there's a damn thing going on right at home.
Right.
But you ain't leave the first lady.
You leave.
How many understand that?
Again, it's that comfort zone. It's the, like I said, you're comfortable with that situation because you know what you got. Then the fact that also, their financial obligations. There are, and we know this more so than anything. There are children that are involved. And some people just want to fake the funk. And what I mean by that, they want to keep up the appearance that everything is okay because they don't want everybody to know that the marriage is failing, or they, again, for whatever reason, it may be a job. And that person, I need to make sure that I'm an executive. I can't be going through this divorce and all that kind of stuff. So you hide a lot of stuff.
So your peace, you don't even really care about your peace over all of the other chaos that may be going on in your house.
A lot of times, yeah, you sacrifice.
So the hell with your peace.
To a certain point, I think that we all, men and women alike, have our threshold to where you get tired of the again pretending that everything's okay, and then knowing that both of y'all going through hell. You making life tough to each other. You don't talk to each other. Go come in the kitchen, y'all just just grunt. Sometimes you don't even get a grunt. You just that. Who wants to live like that though? But some people, unfortunately, are living like that every day. every freaking day.
Well, they can have at it.
I would agree with
They
that.
can have at it
Yep.
because there's no way you get to a certain point in your life that you just want to be with someone with some peace and that you're happy. You want to live out the rest of your days happy.
Right.
You don't want to live out the rest of your days. And I don't want to say I don't care about the kids and all this other stuff that you're named, because those are all factors to a certain extent. But still, you're leaving out of this world in all of this chaos because you refuse to leave.
Right.
That just makes no sense to me. So that's just your whole well-being. It's like you don't even care about your whole well-being, your peace of mind whatsoever. I can't do it. There's no way. No way I'm going to stay somewhere and it's just no freaking peace. I'm not living the rest of my days like that.
And some people don't think about that. They just think about the right now. Is that I
Okay.
got to do this.
But right now is
correct.
every day. So tomorrow is right now.
It is.
Next week is right now. Next year is like right now.
And you keep having that right now until you get comfortable. I mean, get uncomfortable.
Apparently they are comfortable.
Well, and that's could be the problem. At some point, you have to want to have better for yourself, especially if I'm saying if you over 40, 50, 60,
Mhm.
these are times that, you should be in very subtle, solid, peaceful relationship. Not every relationship perfect. No,
Right.
you're gonna have your spats, you're gonna have your disagreements, but going through hell, I don't think nobody should live like that. Not at all.
Dwayne said we fall asleep on the phone 3 in the morning. And you're right.
Yeah, it's old
Talking to
school.
somebody.
Yeah,
Yep.
old
Yep.
school.
Yeah.
Be just as sleeping with knowing you got to get up and go to work.
Mm-hmm. I
Man,
have a celebrity friend of mine who calls me. I can't call his name, but he calls me and wake me up. I ain't up at 11 o'clock. I'm not,
nope. You better a little bit too.
and I'm talking. I look up, it's 2 in the morning, and then we're talking. Next thing I know, I hear her snoring. Dude is going to sleep. I'm like, oh.
Comfort zone.
I hang up. It's like when I hang up, he
You
calls
call
back.
back.
I'm like, don't call me back. I said, please, look, get off the phone. I talked to you about get off the phone.
You ever talk on the phone to the sun start? See the sun coming up.
I mean, what's the party part? Damn, yeah. Hey, did I mess up for?
Birds be singing and everything, man. Those were the young days. I'm
Okay, wait a
somewhere.
minute. Dwayne had a point here.
Okay.
So, look, I can't read. My glasses are not here.
Do I need to read that?
Dwayne, you need to call in. Although it has some people stay because they're afraid to start over again. So they're together, and I can't see it after that. I can't see it.
Yeah, have
after
to
that.
call in 804-767-0491.
Or they'll tolerate something. I can't see it. Something's in the way of. They'll tolerate the circumstances. Is what he's saying. So yeah, but I just don't get that. I still don't really get that. And that whole, I am afraid to start over. I'll start over at the age 60, daggone. I don't care what age it is. I'll start over. Before I leave this world, close my eyes with someone in a house with chaos. I'm going to start over.
And that some people don't want to start over.
That makes no, but just,
They're afraid.
why are you afraid? Somebody got to explain to me why you afraid over your peace of mind. You take fear over your peace. I don't get that.
Yes, again, because
You can't live life like that, Cruz. You cannot walk through life like that, and you in a house, and the whole house tore the hell up.
you shouldn't. But again, a lot of
Well,
people
you die
do.
like you want to die. I'm not dying that way. I'm not gonna
I
die.
could with you, lady.
I'm just saying. I'm not dying that way. It's not happening. I'm not getting old with somebody in the house looking crazy. I'm not crazy.
Don't say that.
Somebody I don't want to feed, don't even want to wash no clothes, don't want to fix no dinner. I ain't doing none of that.
Hey, man.
No detail. You don't want to do nothing.
Nothing.
I just told you the whole daggone house is tore up. So why am I going to do anything for you?
Just out
If
of
I don't even want to be here.
just out of kindness.
No, I ain't trying to be kind no more. I ain't even want to talk to you. I don't want to be here. That's gonna be me in a house. I'm pretty sure. went through a year of divorce where he was down and I was upstairs. Ain't nobody said much of nothing. That was like more stressful than anything. Knowing you walking past somebody in your house and ain't nobody really saying nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Who lives? I don't live like that.
I mean,
That was a year of hell.
Suppose it's a medical situation, okay? And
now we going, somebody's sick now.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody's sick.
Yeah,
Who's sick?
somebody's sick now.
He's sick, right?
He's sick, yeah.
He's sick, okay.
And you hang it in there so that, again, to help that person because he's perhaps, stage 4 cancer, something like that. And so you're there to make sure,
Okay.
that person's taken care of. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get these nurses up in this camp. Let's
Okay.
let's get the, I don't like to do no more. I don't want to be married to this guy anymore.
I cannot with you, man.
So now you asking me to stay somewhere where I don't want to be.
Right.
And yeah, I was married to the guy and something's wrong. But I'm gonna have him all set up where he's comfortable.
All set up.
He's gonna be all set up where he's comfortable. I'm just not gonna leave him any kind of way. And I may even come check on him. But I don't want to be with this guy anymore.
Okay.
So now I'm still under stress. So now I'm under more stress because now I have a sick husband that I'm trying to leave. Now I'm under more stress now. So how is this even helping my peace of mind? So mentally, I'm just going what?
But see, the spiritual part of you is fine because you're helping somebody.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where you get your
Because the tables could be turned and it could be me.
Right. Exactly.
But some people got a lot of family support and some people don't.
That's true.
But I got a family I know ain't gonna just leave me out hang dry, whatever I may have.
Okay.
I do have that type family. They ain't gonna leave me out there.
So
I don't care who I'm with. So the homeboy want to roll. Some people leave because you are ill. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh Lord, let me get out of here because he ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Later.
How many men have left their wives because of, they may have some cancer or they may have something that may be terminal and now they don't want to deal with it.
A lot. Quite a few.
But you just can't leave her high and dry. You got to leave her and make sure she's comfortable. You got things set up. You got people coming in. She's well taken care of. You got to leave with some peace of mind. Because now you're going to stress yourself out because you're going to feel some type of way because I'm leaving this man or I'm leaving this woman that I don't want to be with anyway. Now this person could be sick or potentially could be fatal. And you don't want that on your conscience.
Some people don't care.
Yeah.
They walk out in a heartbeat and leave you there. No doubt. So yeah, that person can't text you. I mean, well, they all the time texting you, or they can't FaceTime you.
Yeah, use this. You got your break.
Okay. Doesn't it say in the Bible, God then give us the spirit of fear? So if you can't trust God and use,
All right, that's fake, right?
yeah, and I use, okay, I know it, which stands for FROG, which stands for fully relying on God in whatever the situation or circumstance is. I'm in the know. All right, she got a paragraph. And all right, hold on, girl. All right, I'm in the know that I am going to make it through. Okay. All right. Well, right. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but again, to Lisa's point, some people don't have that faith. She happens to have a strong foundation of her faith, but there again people right now that they're worried about every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and God said, why are you worried? Because the birds, you see the birds with any word, they don't know where the next meal comes from, but God provides it for them. They don't know a lot of things, and that's what He's telling us is that don't worry about certain things because I'm going to take care of some things. But you got to have that faith. And if you don't have that faith, uh, you subject to be stressed all the time. You're going to be, worried about this, or you're going to be locked into situations simply because you're too paralyzed to move. Again, she brought this up. And we walk by faith and not by sight. So a lot of people, again, they got to see their way out of a situation. They got to, make sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed. Sometimes you just got to go. You can't be waiting on every little piece of the puzzle to fit because, as you indicated, every day you seeing this person and you you got to the point now where you've gone beyond just liking. You can't stand them.
Yeah.
And when you can't stand the person, every little thing gonna start to fucking
Yeah,
nerve.
everything's gonna be irritating.
Yeah.
So my thing is, you irritated me, I gotta be irritating you because
Right.
I don't like you no more.
Right.
So now you're stressed. Now, what about your peace of mind? You should want peace in your house as well. And if I'm not giving you that peace, why would you even want to stay in the house with me?
But some people take that and and they'll basically know that they're irritating you, and so they'll get some type of joy or some type of energy out of doing that. There's some vindictive people that they will forego their peace just to irritate the hell out of you. So again, these are things, and we want you to know that the call lines are open. 804-767-0491.
Oh, okay. Wayne says some words here.
All right.
A lot of men and women have left someone that has illness. Let's face, not everyone is loyal to death do us part.
True. Absolutely.
Right. So my thing is, what I'm trying to say is,
set it up.
You ain't had you. I mean, when I'm leaving, you ain't had no illness. You threw the illness in later on in the mix.
Okay.
So my thing is, should I change my mind if I'm not already out the house and now I find out that you had this? Now, death do us part. Do death do us part mean we had it, or death do us part mean we up in the house looking crazy and don't want to be with each other? Do you stay on that? You know what I'm saying? What part of the death do your part do that? What does that really mean when you're doing your vows?
Again, y'all make me go deep here.
Because if you're not happy,
Right.
if I'm just not happy, period, whether you have anything or I have anything, if we're not happy, what is it that you're going to do for me while I'm going through this transition of whatever's going on with me or whatever's going on with you? What am I going to be able to do? Because I'm still irritated at your ass because I don't like you. I don't want to be here. I don't want you to be here. And you're trying to help me go through whatever I'm going through. But I still don't like you.
I mean, and people think that you have to. I'm trying to remember the scripture. It talks about, there's a time of a separation, and there's time if you are a believer and I'm an unbeliever, and I'm saying I don't want to be with you anymore. Then the word tells us, go ahead. If the unbeliever doesn't want to be with the believer, let the unbeliever go. At some point, if I feel that you just plucking my nerves and we trying to work it out, but I don't want to work it out, but instead I'm going to make your life miserable, I personally don't believe that God wants us to be in a situation like that. Because we cannot serve him and worship him if we're in a state of frustration all the time. If the focus is always on that scoundrel, listen. You know I had to bring a Tennessee word in. Scoundrel. Somebody know what a scoundrel is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ready to leave that scoundrel, and and some people would deliberately not want to file a divorce because why? They just want to be agitated. And so now they're going to make you spend more money because it is a contested divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of reasons guys won't give you a divorce. You ask for a divorce, he won't give it to you. Why? Because now you got to pay more money to your attorney. But they fail to understand in certain cases, if I'm not right, I hope some attorneys will call in on this. If that woman has to spend more money and the judge grants her the divorce petition, he could end up having to pay her attorney fees. I'm not gonna say that's the law, but somebody that know been through a divorce where it was contested and they one party or the other lost. Did you have to take care of their attorney fees? I'd like to know.
Well, I paid for my divorce.
You wanted to go that bad, didn't
And
you?
then, and then I had the audacity to ask him for half.
Half of what?
That was my divorce I paid for.
Oh, so you paid for the
I
divorce
filed, yeah.
and you want to have want to have back.
I sure did.
What do you do that at?
It didn't work.
I was gonna say, what did he do that at?
But he didn't give me half. And he agreed, but he didn't give me half.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so you still waiting on that half?
Well, I'm be waiting. So that's not gonna happen. But
That was
yeah.
a good try, though. That was a good
Yeah,
try.
that's what happened with that.
Did the judge grant that to you? Say, hey, sir, you got to pay her half back, or he just agreed to it?
No, neither of us had to go to court for anything.
Okay.
When G hit me up and said, your papers in here. I said, don't mail his, I'm coming to get them. I did. I said, don't mail them to him, I'm coming to get them.
Wait a minute.
And he had left some stuff in the closet and I called him. We had the best conversation that day ever. And I called him.
So you served the man with his paper?
Yeah.
You good.
I said, you gotta come over and get your stuff. You laughed. Yeah, I came home. Had a vanilla envelope. And I said, I got rid of your ass, boy. Right?
Oh, so you made a joke out of it.
He fell out, started laughing. He started laughing.
Okay.
He said, I got rid of you and you got rid of me.
But at least y'all were amicable at that point, you know.
He didn't elaborate too much on it.
Right. No, because he took it. That's like taking a L sometimes, you know.
But the word on the street told me that he didn't want the divorce.
Uh,
But he fought it for a little bit, but a whole year he fought it.
Okay. But you just stuck to your
No,
gun.
I wanted divorce.
Look at you. I told y'all, man, y'all can be a little ruthless.
Have you been married before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What you trying to say then? What you saying? What you saying?
What you asking? that depends on what I'm saying. What you asking, man? But ooh, that was good. Move right along, right along.
Yeah. What you saying? I know I ain't the only one that's been through a divorce.
Oh no. If somebody said right there watching us now or be looking at this later on contemplating, they right. Why should I continue to be miserable in this hellhole, as you call it? That's your word, hellhole. When life is too short for that. It really is.
I just don't want to live the rest of my life in a house because it's somewhat comfortable in my mind, but my whole body, my spirit is just, I'm walking in every day, don't want to be there. I'm looking at your little raggedy ass, don't really want to look at you no more. And it's like, we're not getting along, we can't communicate, we ain't talk like we used to. It's nothing going on right.
Right.
Because I have a comfortable atmosphere when I walk in because I can go to sleep and I got this and this is paid and he may be paying this. Something, I'll struggle.
Right. When you go and get out there, turn that key to that BMW and everything. So, and again, some women, because as you just indicated, he's still paying the credit card bills, still, providing a vehicle, nice home and all that. So, they stay there.
Yeah.
And they sleeping in separate rooms. Sometimes they sleeping in the same room, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
No communication, no zip, zab, or zoom.
That's got to be a crazy feeling. That's got to be a crazy feeling.
I would imagine so.
So you can't even make a call like, hey, what's for dinner tonight? Because, don't call me because you ain't getting nothing over here. Don't call me.
Suppose the call you want to take you out to dinner.
No.
So y'all,
What?
no?
We're gonna go to dinner and we're gonna be just like the two people I just been talking about when I'm out sitting at the cross table, nobody's talking to each other. If we can't communicate in the house, how the hell we gonna communicate out the house?
And they can put on a good front.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Put on a real good front. So yeah, again,
Okay, Lisa and Dwayne having a conversation.
they got a whole conversation.
And they
going?
just stand around making a man's life miserable because he has money. And then Dwayne said, Lisa, that's oh, and I can't see. That's what selfish women
Ooh,
that doesn't want to see her ex move on and potentially be happy.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what he said, Lisa. That's selfish
Selfish woman.
woman that doesn't want to see her ex move on and potentially be happy. That's another reason, one party or the other won't release because they don't want the other person to be happy.
Right. And now I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. Okay. But if you're gonna put yourself in this situation and date a married man, and you're gonna put yourself in this situation, and they're separated. The two is separated. She lives in one place, he lives in another. I believe if that's what you're gonna do, knowing that he's gonna divorce at some point, because he's telling you you're gonna be the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. If you're gonna do that, stay your ass in the hole. You ain't got to come out. You ain't got to be over at the house. You ain't got to be over there trying to meet the kids. None of that. Because as soon as that ex or soon to be ex see you, especially if you cuter than the wife, this is going to be a whole situation of problem. I know somebody right now, and I told her, do not badger this man about coming to this house.
Mm-hmm.
They're separated. They're living separate right now. I said, as soon as those kids see you, and they're going to run tell their mama,
right?
Daddy has a girlfriend or Daddy has a woman over at the house. And trust me, my friend is way cuter than a wife. I'm telling you, she's cuter than a wife, okay? Right. And I kept telling, I said, chick, don't do it. I said, don't. And honey, 3-4 years later, girlfriend said, I ain't giving no goddamn freaking divorce. I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because once she surfaced, stay your tail, just be quiet. Sit back, watch the movie, get your popcorn and your drink, and watch the movie and just sit tight. Because if he's going to leave, he's going to leave. Now it's difficult because now you got a woman like, daggone it, I don't want you, but damn it, she ain't going to get you either.
That's true. That'll happen.
And I'm not saying any of this is right to a certain extent, but if he already out there, they already separated, divorce papers are in the works. I mean, I don't know if that's a right or wrong situation. Mm-hmm. I ain't here to judge nobody, but just stay quiet. Just stay put.
And
be patient.
Men will do the same because, again, they see you, out with somebody else. And so now, again, whether it's out of spite, whether it's out of jealousy, whether they're still in love with you or whatever it may be, they will, can make life hell, always showing up or, always doing little things and trying to keep that other person guessing, well, damn, they still mess around with each other. What? Because he seemed to always be here, there, or doing this and doing that, popping up over here and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, people can be very vindictive. Very. So whether it's right or wrong, sometimes you got to know your role. Just kind of fall back.
Your role. You already know you're married. You're not married, but you're dating someone that potentially is supposed to be getting divorced. The separation is there, so you already got yourself in a situation. So just stay put, stay quiet, and you got to stay patient or roll out.
And I know we're gonna get some flack because some people are gonna say, well, you should wait till that person is divorced, yada yada yada. That's
like I said, I'm not here to judge nobody. Right. I'm just not, because it happens that way sometimes.
Right.
It just is what it is. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I know people who've done it. And I don't know if I was ever in that situation, I may do it. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Just keep popping up, keep holding on, keep from being happy.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm the second chick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I know I'm dating
Oh,
someone
okay.
that's potentially maybe getting a divorce.
Gotcha.
But I just think that the second chick, you can't surface. Don't badger that guy. You just can't do it. Because women
And
can be very vindictive and they can be like, oh, make your life a living hell.
right.
Because you went out here and already got a girlfriend.
For the sake of this conversation, and we've talked about it a couple times again, you being the good woman, you're waiting on things to materialize at the house and everything. Does there
And it
have
can be
to
a
be
hot
some?
mess in itself.
Does there have to be some evidence somewhere that there's a moving forward of getting that divorce or that separation? Do you have to see some evidence of that? If you
Absolutely.
okay,
Absolutely. Because my friend now, it's like, I believe it's going to happen at some point, but it's been too many years. And it hasn't happened yet.
okay,
But do I believe, because I know these people personally, do
right,
I believe it's going to happen? I do. I don't think I'm being naive when it comes to that. I
okay,
just believe he's going to get it. But because my girlfriend is a really attractive young lady,
right.
and the wife,
Not so right.
homeboy upgraded. He ain't downgraded, he upgraded.
He upgraded.
So,
Cheers to the
and
upgrade.
that's a problem. I'm sure that's a problem for this wife. I'm sure it's a problem for that wife. But now she knows it's a problem.
Yeah.
And she was like, something, Ange, I wish I had listened to you. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
This may have been already over and done with.
we don't like to look at the logical piece. We on the emotional side, and
Yeah.
a lot of decisions, emotional decisions, can be
Mhm.
bad decisions.
And I see why she got a point to a certain extent, because if you want 2 and 3 years and I ain't been to your house yet and you're separated, but I don't know if you should be over there. I'm still on the fence with, do you really? Why would you be over there?
If you separate it, I can see,
You think it's okay?
yeah, as long as it's not during the time where the kids are over there.
Mm-hmm.
This has to be time where you all, you have your quiet time, your one-on-one time. But yeah, I wouldn't be trying to
But if
necessarily.
the kids live with the dad, is what I'm saying to you.
Y'all better y'all better go to her house or get your hotel or something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, that you definitely, again, until that paper is finished, and the kids stay with you. Yeah, that's
And I have another friend that actually in that same situation and same scenario. And soon she saw the check, but lo and behold, they did get a divorce.
okay.
And she did marry this guy, and they still married with kids and just like happily ever after.
So it worked out.
So it worked out for them.
Right.
It worked out for them. But she waited almost like 5-6 years for that to happen.
And again, there's some people, you put time frames on things. It all depends on what's going on, and every situation is different, and it has to be based on its own on merit. So, um, well, it's 8:24, and I want to spend maybe about 10 or 15 minutes on these other two subjects.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we stayed listening for a minute. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, what I want to finish the show with tonight is, why are women so catty? And what I mean by catty is that some of you all,
Mm.
you know, y'all can just be for no reason at each other. Let me put the picture back up here. I got
When
to
you
put
say at
this.
each other, who's at each other?
The two women in general. Y'all will argue at the drop of a hat. This is the picture I had up here earlier. Let me get this picture right here. This is it. This is a caddy. Come on, wait a minute. All right, I gotta show this picture. I gotta take us off.
We
again,
all know some.
and it's for no reason. You all are more catty than I would say men are without testosterone. We don't get to a lot of pissing matches and stuff. But you all, it's like she thinks she's something. And, it's just rah rah rah. Why is that?
And it's sad
And men,
that
and some men ask that serious. That's why I came up with this.
it's sad that us black women do that to each other.
Right.
It really is sad. No, I've gone places and I didn't stay long because the person that was sitting at the table is like this.
Right.
Nobody will hear all that.
Yeah.
That's not why we here. I rolled out.
Yeah.
I rolled out. Nobody wants to hear all of that.
And the rolling of the eyes at each other, and then all of a sudden, and when it escalate, y'all go to 1,000. BICTH, I whoop yo, whatever. You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this smoking. Y'all sound like sometimes some of you women sound like me. You don't want none of this smoke. Nuck if you buck, or buck if you nuck, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wait a minute.
I ain't never heard of the stuff you said right there.
You ain't never heard of it? I love it.
No.
There used to be a song. If you buck, you get nuck. Something like that. Somebody know that song. I'll pull it up in a minute.
Okay.
But if you look at Housewives of Atlanta, basketball wise, and I can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Now that stuff is really, it's no longer what they call reality TV. It's reality in the neighborhoods. You got young women out here fighting each other. All, some of it over baby daddy. Some of it because, she said something that you didn't like. She didn't like your hair. We got a call coming in. Somebody will pick up on this subject tonight. Good evening, you on Let's Talk Tuesday. How you doing?
I want to comment on your subject
Which one?
about catty women.
Okay,
I
then.
don't hang around catty women. The people that do that, that's just, I don't know, that's what they attract. If you're a mature woman and you've grown enough, you know who to hang around and who not to hang around. And some women, they're still older and they still haven't gotten it.
So is it?
I pick my friends and I pick them. I'm very choosy with who I pick that I become a friend with and who I hang around with.
So to the question, because again, the guys want to know this. Why is it that women have so many issues with other women?
And for me, I can't really answer that.
It could be jealousy.
With my friends, I fix their crown, I pick them up, I compliment them. Those are the type of women I hang around. So I've never had that situation. And if I was to ever become in one of those situations, as Angie said, I'm backing up out of it. I'm retreating and I'm going. You don't have to like me, and that's fine. Because I wasn't put down here for you to like me. As long as I like me and love myself, I don't care what you think about me.
Okay.
So you can't argue with yourself.
That's true. So should we say, rather than catty women, catty females, because a woman and a lady are different from a female that with no respect, no self-worth and things like that. So
Absolutely.
I see your wheels turning over there, man.
Well, some catty women are just jealous of the next woman.
Okay.
And that's why they're being catty.
Right.
They jealous. They probably wish they were her, or wish they could act like her, or have what she may have, or dress like she may dress. It could be a number of things.
Okay.
It could be a number
the
of
sad
just.
thing about that is what you said. They wish they could have what she have. But if you go and you change your thinking and you befriend that person that you are admiring instead of trying to tear her down, maybe she can give you some pointers on how you need to change yourself so that you can put forth that same persona that she's exuding that you're envious of.
And you just touched on a very spiritual level thing, because it says that the older women are to teach the younger women. And two thoughts come to mind. We don't have those older women teaching younger women out, because a lot of them do the same thing that the younger women doing. Around here with your butt cheeks hanging out and you 60, 70, 80 years old.
Let me tell you what my mama keeps saying. These other little young girls, they different. They are very different.
Yeah.
Some of them you can't approach them as an older woman because they weren't taught to have no respect for no older woman. They are very different. They've been raised on some totally different juice.
You have
They are so different that it is ridiculous. That you as me as an older woman, you have to be very cautious on approaching them because they come at you totally different. They are so very disrespectful and harsh, like they have lived the hardest life on earth, and you only 15 and 16 years old. Then act like it, because when you have to grow up, you're not gonna want to adult.
Absolutely.
Trust me, adulting is not fun.
And that was the second part. I'm glad you brought that up because I was about to say the reverse of that is that some of these young women, they don't want to be taught how to do anything different. I have she's a friend that's an administrator at a school, and sometimes some of the young girls, the way they talk and the way they disrespect, and she has to draw a line, but some of them still. I wish you could hear the conversation. I'm like, well, back in the day, you'd been suspended, but when they go home, they talk to their parents like that. You're right. They on a different type of Similac or something.
Yes, because back in the day, I would have got my smacked in the mouth, and when I got home, the neighborhood would have known I got beat by my neighbor, and then when my mama got home, I got my tail whipped again.
Yep.
So the village looked after us.
Yeah, and it's hard, even with the young men. Now you can't, I don't approach young guys just run up on them inside with that rah rah rah. You got to build a relationship with them because again, they got a different mindset. But we ain't gonna get off on the men because we rarely. The only time we might get to really escalate things if we are trying to feed our ego because some woman is around. I guarantee you right now, most of the men, some of them that are incarcerated, if you look to the root of the problem, they were trying to impress some woman, they were trying to get some money for some woman, or they were, they felt some man disrespected their woman or trying to get at their woman, you know. So, but y'all don't need a reason, if a woman look at y'all too long, y'all ready to go. What the hell are you looking at? What you looking at?
I can kill it. Because my thing is, you looking at me, okay, well, let me get up and let me take a little stroll in the walk so you can get a good look at me. Okay? All right, eat that up. Okay?
This caller here is funny. Since she gonna give him something to look at.
Absolutely.
Since you looking.
Let me show you the whole full package.
Since you looking.
Take a picture, it might last longer. Let me stop and do a pose.
No, I can't. I can't with y'all.
Yeah, you can't.
I cannot. So, Cola, as we get ready to this other part, why y'all have attitudes all the time? Women.
Women do not have attitudes. And if some women do have attitudes, the root of it to me is some of y'all men make us have those attitudes.
Oh, now it's our fault.
No, it's not your fault. I said some of y'all. I'm not lumping everybody into a group because I cannot do that.
This one over here rocking in the chair. Like, but look, something. I mean, and I told my wife this. I think it was yesterday, the day before. I said, "Damn, do you have to answer every question so damn aggressive? Some of y'all be on 10, like y'all read them, like."
But
why?
you know that person, that it doesn't necessarily mean that person is on 10. That's just that person. You gotta know who you're talking. You gotta know who you're talking to.
And suppose I talk to you aggressively every day.
It's not aggressive because you know that person is not being aggressive.
But
you know she's not being aggressive.
But still, y'all get an attitude and a heartbeat.
I'm not sure.
All right, I'm gonna show you a prime example. I was sitting here minding my own business. And you just came in and you just pushed me over here and told me I need to move over because we weren't straight. You didn't ask me, hey, Cruz, can you move over? You came over there. You need to move over. Pop your head in.
Tell him no lie. He telling a lie because that's not how it was said.
How was it said, man?
It wasn't said that way.
Why you?
Now fixed it.
Why you?
Now I got an
Yeah,
attitude
you're right.
because your ass tells me like,
Why you shaking?
and now he exaggerated the whole story.
How you know?
No,
Were
I'm
you
just
here?
saying from what she's saying.
Oh, so you gonna take her word? See, you gonna take her word? You weren't here. How you gonna do that? Where they do that at?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I am. How they said in New Jack City, I am my brother's keeper. Well, I'm my sister's keeper.
Now I got an attitude with you.
Oh God, now you got an attitude with the caller.
I'm about to hang up.
I'm done. I'm done.
If you do, I ain't gonna be mad. So say bless you, I love you, and I'll talk to you next week.
Oh, you will call back again.
Yes.
I appreciate you. I love you too, man. All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Boy, y'all funny. Y'all are so funny. But seriously, if I agree with what the caller said. 9 times out of 10, if y'all got an attitude, it's probably because something we did, sometimes. Some of y'all just wake up on it too.
No, anybody waking up. Who does that? Open their eyes and the first thing you guys have attitude. Why?
That you went to bed with one. You wake,
No.
you wake up with one.
Nobody.
Come on, AK.
No.
Come on, AK.
Why would I go? Well, I can see him going to bed with attitude. But why would I wake up with it? Then I done woke up with it.
So
then I'm carrying this to another day.
And it carried over in your dream and everything. You either woke up mad.
About what? Yeah. Who wakes up? Have you ever woke up mad?
Hell yeah.
What are you mad about?
This mad,
You're mad about something.
Yeah, it could be like I said. Now seriously, most time I'm thankful to even open my eyes.
Exactly.
But sometimes, in my dreams, I'm aggressive, I'm fighting or whatever. My wife tell you about that in a minute. She's like, the other day she said, you hit me there. I'm like, what? Because she said, yeah, you be fighting in your sleep.
Oh wow.
So she. In fact, she made sure we got one of these king size beds.
I was gonna say, better be a king size. Oh God, excuse me.
She was a California king.
Your tail gonna have to go all the way over doing all that head swinging.
Well,
You'll hurt somebody.
My father-in-law does the same thing. My mother-in-law stick up and said, look, he be waking up kicking it. It's just, I don't know, I guess maybe it's too much tea that we got going on or something. But yeah. So I try not to wake up with an attitude too often unless y'all make me mad or something. Then I'm going to bed with one, I'm waking up with one. After I said, thank you, Lord, for let me see another day.
Well, if you're married, I believe, and I know sometimes it can be difficult. Just don't go to bed angry.
Yeah,
You should not go to bed angry. Just try to resolve it.
You hitting a lot of scripture tonight because it says, "Do not let the sun set on your wrath." Be angry but sin not.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's again because you could go to bed angry and then wake up and you somewhere else. You're not on this time side of life. And,
right.
And I may say that jokingly, but that's serious. A lot of people, unfortunately, husband and wives, and we'll talk about this next week. Sometimes you have to be careful because somebody leave the house angry and driving fast or not driving fast at all, getting involved in an accident. And the last thing you remember is that, that person left out of the house, angry or with attitude or whatever. And that's the memory, that you have to, basically carry the rest of your life. I'm sure that can be a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Next time, stop popping your head and, twisting and all that stuff y'all do. Look at your eyes. Mr. Hill, thank you for your comments. Miss Lisa, thank you for your comments. A lot of people tuned in, rocking in, and everything. We appreciate you all each and every Tuesday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, well.
Well, but we didn't see Big Will tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, we'll have to check on Big Will, find out what's going on with you. You know, because Big Will normally rocking with us every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, you know, see, Big Will, he didn't have time to text. Tune in.
Big Will, what you got going?
The Big Will had some other things he had to do. So he had to go cut the grass, and then he had to trim it up. And
He always tuned into Let's Talk Tuesday.
yeah, but tonight it was a little different.
It was a different
a
night.
little different night.
Yeah, he's not here.
They said a little bit. Oh wait, do we have a comment? Damn. What's going on, my brother? Well, you know, man, if we don't see you chime in, we get a little concerned. So glad to see that you're in with us. Always appreciate you being here. He's just getting in from Atlanta. See, he had a good reason why he couldn't call his woman tonight because he was on the road.
And the phone works on the road.
You can't be
Big
driving.
Will don't have a clue what we're talking about. But the phone works on the road.
But you can't be driving and talking.
Headset, earpiece, put on a speaker, set your phone.
You know, when you go down to close to where you live, and we'll be talking sometimes, don't the line drop?
Has the line dropped yet?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You said yes. Oh, see, he said, on my bike, he got wet. So he was riding his bike. So he definitely could not be on the phone talking.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
So that's totally different, though. You do understand that,
Big
right?
Will travel back and forth from Atlanta every night.
No, he do not.
Yeah, he do.
He do not travel back and forth to Atlanta. No, he don't.
His job has him going, you know, he's
on his bike every night.
Yeah. So he ain't got time to
so he can't even text his woman. He can not text his woman, but he can't even call his woman.
He can text her.
I changed it up. I said call.
Yeah, that's what I said. He don't have time to call her because he's trying to watch the traffic. It's raining, and then
But that's a different thing. He's on a bike. Yeah, he can't do that.
Right.
But when he gets situated, settled, what's the problem?
Then he tired.
We talk about the jackass just not calling at all.
That man that rode all the way from Atlanta holding that bike. That is, do you know how tiring that can be, how exhausting that can be?
Let me tell you something.
What?
If this person you really want to be with, you'll call and say goodnight. You will.
Sometimes you have the best intention, you know.
If you fall asleep, you fall asleep. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
you
give it enough thought.
Take some medication, and medication kick in before
your 30 seconds phone call is not gonna kill you, okay? You can't even.
Fellas, I'm trying to help you.
You are not making nothing make sense.
What?
You're not.
I bet
Everybody stay tuned before we leave. Let me tell you because you just said something.
What?
And you ain't none of your shit you said making sense. So my new tea is out. My new tea is out. It's getting ready to drop tomorrow. My video is getting ready to drop. So you got to go and get my new tea.
Okay.
The two-tone color is 25 and the regular one is 20. You got to go get my new tea. Watch my video tonight. I'm throwing it out there tonight.
All right.
My new tea is out. I'm excited.
Awesome. Congratulations. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And my girl Cherry Creation did all of our shirts for us. We collaborated with her and we gave her some funky fonts. She came in and she did her thing. She did t-shirts. Oh, and she did this. See this? Can I see this? This is like super cute, right? You need to call Cherry's Creation. Check out on her page. She's doing a little bit of everything. She's out doing her thing, man.
And she got some new dolls that's coming in called La Bumba, Laboon, or something. Some new dolls coming in, y'all. They're the ugliest little dolls, but they can be dressed up and whatever. So she's doing that. You're right. My wife's doing. She's getting it in, and
she's getting it in.
She was talking to my mother-in-law today about creating her, revenue stream. And you're right. With the things that's going on now, the stock markets, going the opposite direction. Got to have some other ways to continue to, create streams of revenue. Yeah. We talk about that all the time. That's going to be, something we need to talk about. How do you create other streams of that revenue?
Yeah. You have a wife that actually is really crafty on a lot of stuff. She can do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I have to give her props. I
Yeah,
cannot sit up
yeah,
here,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I'm really proud of her. When she, puts her mind to something, and she's like you. You all the most anal people.
I know.
Yeah, if it's not right, it can't fly. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So all of my tea is going to be going through her to get done.
Okay.
Once they hit the airwaves, it's going to hit it tonight. I'm excited. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. Y'all see it in the morning though. So hopefully it'll go.
Oh,
It'll
so
get out tonight.
you're not gonna make that phone call tonight, huh? You're not gonna, because you
I'm
fell
not gonna
asleep.
I'm not gonna hit social media tonight. 'Cause I'm talking to social media tonight. Okay, I ain't talking to nobody else. I ain't trying to call nobody else. It left 12 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, Big Will.
No,
She's crazy. I'm the one with the common sense.
no, he know. You know, Big Will. You know.
Oh man, enjoyed you all. Enjoy the rest of your week. Again, as I always say, whatever comes from the heart reaches the heart. Let somebody know how much you care about them before it's everlasting too late.
Yep. Let's talk about it, y'all. See y'all next Tuesday on Let's Talk Tuesday.
All right.
Let's talk about it. I'll see y'all later.
And if you get a call from Shirley, at least Shirley and Betty, who came in on that song.
Oh. Yeah.
The first thing that you need to do is to make sure you get yourself to as safe place as you can. Find yourself a competent attorney who practices in personal injury and will understand some of the things that you're going through. And as I tell people, for 33 years I've been doing this. I've had my own accident. So I would like to be one of those individuals that they would interview so I could at least try to find out how I can best help them myself.